Hey, what's up? Once again, this is the CoachTone Show. We live today with Brandt Moses, Philadelphia basketball legend, Philadelphia gangster legend. Waiting on him to come on. Brandt, can you hear me? Brandt Moses, Roman Catholic, Ben Franklin High School, played college ball. There you go. Now, Brandt, when you look at the bottom, stay looking at the bottom, and another thing's going to come up that say request to join. All right. When that comes up, then you just hit join. There you go. All right. Did you hit request to join? I just sent you the request, right? What's up, Slim? Oh, Silky. And I'm back. I just sent you a request, Brent. So scroll. You see the names at the bottom, Brent, right? So just move those names up a little bit, and you should see something that says request to join. You see it? Brandt Moses. Yeah, Blair, we're waiting on Brent right now, trying to figure this thing out. Brent, do you see the thing that says request to join? You got to hit that. I'm sending you another request. It's going to come up on the bottom of your screen. There you go.
Now,
there you go. Good. Congratulations.
I'm in.
You in. Show your face.
Why before it kept saying my request wasn't sent?
Well, now it's sent. Show your face. Can't nobody.
I see my man Silk.
I can see the top of your head. There you go. What's up, man?
Man, listen, I got the TNT pregame on.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what these games looking like tonight.
Yeah, the Lakers is playing the Knicks tonight. That's gonna be
yo. You know who's surprising me with the Knicks?
Huh?
The boy, the left-handed boy.
Who? Oh, RJ Barrett.
No, no. What the hell is his name? Damn. The left-handed boy, and I never really liked this game. What the hell is his name?
All right, well, tell me what your name is. Who are you, where are you from, and what do you do? Or what did you do?
My name is Brandt Moses, and what I did was I walked the waters and I made a lot of people drown. That's what I did. That's what I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Philadelphia legend, Brandt Moses out of North Philly, playground legend, Philly legend, back in the day, killing everybody. Everybody. What high school did you attend in Philly?
Ben Franklin, Coach Ham.
Yeah? What was it like playing for Coach Ham?
Huh?
What was it like playing for Coach Ham?
It was, you know what? See, this is the thing with me, you know, and I used to have regrets about it, you know what I'm saying? But I at the end of the day, I ain't mad at, you know, because my thing, see, in 11th grade, I didn't play varsity basketball because when they had tryouts, when they was trying out, that's when we had Pop, Leon Evans, Richard Page, we had Snuffy Smith. You know what I'm saying? They had a team set, but when I came over there from Roman, I started cracking heads.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they had Light Bulb and Jelly playing guards, little guys, small guards. But in 11th grade, when we was running, you know what I mean, then he told me Ham came after like maybe like the third practice. And he was like, okay, yeah. He said, well, I can tell you right now, you're gonna make the team. I know you're gonna make the team. He said, but Light Bulb and Jelly gonna start. I said, what are you talking about, Ham? He said, oh, you gonna make the team. He said, but they seniors. And I looked at him and I told him real simple. Listen, if they was better than me, I can respect that. But just because they a year ahead of me and you have this quote unquote loyalty to your seniors, I'll see you next year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and but all he did was make all he
look at the comments on the screen.
Yeah.
See that?
Sit in your face. Okay. All right, but listen.
Turn the TV down
but all
a
he
bit.
did.
Turn your TV down some.
All right. You know what he did though? At the end of the day, he just caused Light Bulb and Jelly a whole lot of pain because they was playing in every league that we played in up their way at 26 and Master the Rec.
Right.
We had a league down St. Elizabeth Gym at the time.
Right.
And we had a league up the King Center.
Yeah.
And everywhere I saw them in the gym, I cracked their heads.
Okay.
Everywhere. And they had a hell of a team because they had big time hooks playing the middle. They had this boy named Pie. His name was Melvin. They called him Pie. The one I think was the toughest one on their team was the boy Tank.
Right.
Okay. Well, and they had Light Bulb and Jelly playing guards.
Jason Thompson just joined. My man JT, greatest of all time, the king of rock. Well, before you get into that,
what's up, Jay?
Huh?
What's up, Jay? That's my man there. That's my man. What's up, Jay?
Yeah. Yo, before you get into that, right? Before we get into the street ball, because you're a street ball legend and people don't know that about you, right? Before we get into that, we made a movie together. You and I did a movie together with our good friend Blair Floyd, Silk from Overbrook. We did a documentary together, and it's called.
And I love y'all for that.
It's called The Brandt Moses Story, Philadelphia Gangster Life, and you can find it on YouTube under A.Paris Films. Myself and Blair Floyd directed the film, produced the film, and edited the film, and it has close to 200,000 views.
I was gonna say last look I had, it was at like 179 or something like that, 179,000 views.
Right. And you're getting a lot of great comments on the story. And the story is about Brandt Moses' life, how he started, playing basketball, and his life, parallel to the streets and basketball at the same time. So he was doing both of those things at the same time, and he was great at both of those, and that's part of what our discussion is today, is about his life, his legacy, his career playing basketball, and his street life, and he'll tell you, right from his mouth, what it was like, growing up in the streets, and, the pros and cons with being in the streets, and while he was doing all that, he was still playing basketball and still killing people on the basketball court. And you can find all this in his movie, The Brandt Moses Story, BRANDT MOSES, Philadelphia Gangster Life, on YouTube. That's where you can find it at. So after high school, Brandt, right, you took everything to the street. You started killing everybody in the street. Let's talk about how you was killing everybody down at 16th and Susquehanna first, right?
And see, back then,
so rise and fall.
Back then, again.
Right?
That was quote unquote the league.
Yeah.
16th and Susquehanna.
Right.
Now we was playing, me, Carrington, Ward, Block, Floyd, and the team that we have put together, that R&R Deli team. We was playing everywhere, but then when we went down 16th and Susquehanna, okay, we didn't have that. We didn't have all those players there with us, but me, Carrington, and then matter of fact, that's where I took Hank at, God bless his soul. I took Hank down there with us,
right?
And he was looking, and he was like, damn. He said this. Well, we playing them. We playing a first game. I brought Hank to. We was playing against this leaping ass motherfucking Ray. That nigga jumped out the fucking gym. Ray Thompson jumping all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn. So I look at this motherfucker like when we come in, he told me, yeah, he told me, I said, damn, bro. He said, damn, Mo, we playing y'all?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, don't worry about it. I smacked him on his ass. I said, I'm gonna give y'all niggas 30. I dropped like 42 down that motherfucker.
Wow.
And that was the first game Hank came down there with us.
Right.
And I told Hank, I said, listen, whenever, during the course, I said, look, Hank, when you get in there, just fucking play. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about this, what you want to do. Don't mess up. Just play.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I said, nigga, look, you got the heart. You always want to try to play against me around St. E one-on-one. Yeah. We must have played one-on-one like 30 times before he even won a game. And when he beat me, the one game that game he beat me, he was so happy. He just ran out the gym. He out in the street hollering on 23rd Street. Yeah, I beat him. And he was really just learning the game. You know what I mean? Right. But the thing about Hank is like I told him, and they said in the line, like, you know what I mean, his heart. And that's what I told him. I said, Hank, I don't care what you do, who you go up against. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't never let nobody take your heart on that court.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because really back then, when we was balling, like it was a whole lot of shit talking constantly. Yeah. And if you could get one of the key players to fold up, if you could get them to flinch, you could take their heart, worry, or intimidate them any way you want to, holler at them, cuss at them, elbow and make them, you know what I mean, just make them don't want to be a part of the game.
Right.
Then you ahead in the game right now.
Right.
You ahead of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know down South Philly to see the one thing, and I'm glad this is over and past now, but back then South Philly and North Philly never really got along. We never got along.
Nah.
On the courts.
Why?
On the streets and there. I mean, it was just that. Matter of fact, see, my bad break, my senior year was a strike. Mm-hmm. And Franklin, we had to go to South Philly, Southern.
Yeah.
And our first day there, like, we had to rumble after school. We had to rumble and go down South Philly to get down to the subway to catch the sub to come back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we had a lot of people had on their Franklin blue and gold jackets. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know, just throughout it's always kind of like been the North Philly, South Philly thing. You know, as far as streets. Now the ball players, we was cool, like, you know what I mean? But my man, that I used to go at it with all the time was Willie Cooks.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Will, he was a hell of a ball player, but Will, he had a few little dirty tricks, you know what I mean? And sometimes when he came, get you, you ain't like it. Because I was saying, like, look, I know when we played them down there, like, Will, he spit on the ref. He spit on Caesar.
Wow.
Caesar was repping our game.
Wow.
Right? Wow. He made a bad call on Willie. Willie took at him, man. See, man, threw the ball at him and then spit on him.
That's
like,
crazy.
Boy, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? But, that's who he was.
I heard your toughest competition was Black Magic, Louis Lloyd.
Oh, that was my man. Listen, we had war. You know what I mean? God rest his soul.
Yeah.
That was my man for life. You know what I'm saying? But we had wars with them. You know, when Third World played R&R Deli, we was just like, the leagues out West Philly back then was 34th and Harvard with the library because that had just opened up, and 48th and Brown. Mm-hmm. That was the league. Those were the two leagues, and we was going at it with them guys so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember one night we had to play each other at the same place. We had to play down 48th Street, and then we had to rush down 34th Street because we had the second game down there playing against them. And I know that night we split because we beat them down 48th Street. They was all the way back on the baseball field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And make it so bad, Mr. Lloyd was coaching him. His pop was coaching him that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was messing like, listen, afterwards, now, you know, we used to hang out together and stuff. So we went over to Lou's house.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, we down in his basement, you know, we turning up, drinking, smoking weed and stuff like that. And we talking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now, so his pop was coming down the steps. But anyway, while we still was talking, you know, me and Lou messing around. So I said, nigga, shut up. Shut up before I go get Tinkerbell, nigga. I go get Tinkerbell on you.
Pick your
And
phone up. Pick your phone up, son. Yeah. All right.
his pop hit me with a body shot.
Yeah.
I grabbed my hip and went down. And I looked at him, and he told me, he said, man, don't you never say that name in this house. That's how serious that shit was between him and Gene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But after he went up the steps, I looked at Lou. I told Lou, I said, man, you know if that wasn't your dad,
Yeah.
I'll go right out to that Lincoln and get that fucking hammer. I come back there and put one in his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bro, he just laughed. Like, I was serious as a motherfucker, but that was Lou Pop. Like, he hit the shit out of me.
Wow.
But I'm talking about, he hit me, he gave me a body shot, you know, and my back was turned, you know, he came up like kind of behind me, hit me on the side. But I never had a chance to see the punch coming because I wasn't facing it.
Yeah.
So it really caught me off guard. And I'm hollering. I said, nigga, I can't Gene on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He hit me and I'm like, oh, I curled up like a little kitten. Like, look up what the fuck.
Yeah. Yo, I'll talk a little bit about the movie. Like, we want to thank Blair Floyd for having the vision of wanting to produce the movie, which he did, and he did a great job. And he's the first one that really believed in you and believed in your story that was valuable, you know, for the rest of the public to hear. And, you know, of course, you know, I didn't know a lot about the story until I really got into it too. And it's a great story because some of the things that you did back in the 80s and the 90s, you see kids trying to do that today in terms of playing basketball and making money in the streets and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's a fascinating story, you know, because, you know, you laid the groundwork for some of these guys in Philadelphia to even be able to do some stuff like that. You know what I mean? But tell some of the people how you were playing basketball and how you were still running the streets at the same time, and how easy or difficult it was for you, you know, because you had a whole bunch of cars and all kind of money. I mean, you was living the life, man. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
About like, that life, man.
You know, like, I mean, I personally, I really don't have no regrets about it though, Tom. But personally, like, yeah, I mean, that's just what I was doing. Like, I felt like, you know, I was the man on the court, and I know, you know what I mean, back then in the game, you know, as far as like, you know what I mean, like I wasn't a top dog, but I was respected by all the niggas in the city getting money because I was rubbing hands with them. You know what I mean? I had everything. You know what I mean? Whatever you want back then, niggas, it was pancakes and syrup, weed, coke. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I did it all. I did it all. You know what I'm saying?
Look what Blair said.
And I remember.
Look what Blair said. He said that you're the Philadelphia version of Wee Kirkland. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what, you know why?
Jacob? When you coming to the gym, Jake?
That's what it was. You know what I mean? Like,
Wee Kirkland could have went to the NBA. He was offered the opportunity to go to the NBA, and he turned it down because he wanted to stay in the street life. You know what I mean? And you had the same opportunities to go to play in the NBA or college basketball, and you turned it down because you like the street life more than you like, you know, going to school or going to the NBA, right?
And my mentality was, you know what I mean, fucking, you know, really, especially like after, like I'm telling myself like, fuck it, you know what I mean? If I ain't, you know what I mean, I guess because of Sonny, and I really, you know, say this, man, and, you know, God rest soul, whatever, but, you know what I mean, he played a big part in making it hard for me because he tried to blackball me from down Magana.
Right.
And he did it the first year that I was going to play. You know what I'm saying? And I was supposed to, I had played a couple games with Nate Benz Reliable, and me and him had it out.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? And he iced me.
Yeah.
So then we had a Sunny Hill Community Involvement League, you know, and this was down at Moreland, 25th and Diamond, it's the Gather Center now.
Right.
But that year, they was getting like they was getting all the top name niggas in the public league. I know like Dobbins had they had Bird Sanders, Leroy Choice, you know what I'm saying? Galen Baker was supposed to be there. We had Ray Thompson. We had the Wells brothers. You know what I'm saying? All of them. And because I remember just before, the day before the league was supposed to start, they had the Tribune come down there.
Mm-hmm.
And they was taking pictures. You know what I mean? So now Sonny Hill come down there because he put his name on that league, the Sonny Hill Community Involvement League. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he had heard about that. Well, he had came down there the year before when we was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he had to get his hands and everything. But anyway, we down there just shooting around. You know what I mean? And me, Chubby Wells, Barry Ogletree, Ed Johnson, David Lighty, Gilbert Sanders, you know, Milt. We down there shooting, you know, and they waiting for the photographers from the Tribune to come in.
Right.
And so we down there, like now they came in and they started setting up. We seen them setting up. So I was down the far end, me and 3 or 4 other, you know what I mean, and some of the coaches for the teams was there. So I'm going into, you know, I got the ball at the top of the key. I'm in the process of shooting a jumper, and Sonny blew the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody that wanted, I mean, he wanted everybody to run the half court, and everybody was going up there. And I was going up there, but I had shot the ball, so I got, you know, I went and got the ball as it came through the net, and I was jogging, you know, to half court, and I was basically like the last one. And, you know, Sonny come to me and he said, you know what, see that Brandt Moses? He said, you know, this is what I'm talking about. You heard the whistle, you knew he was a blow. I said, Sonny, I was in the midst of shooting the ball. I just went and got the ball. He said, well, this, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to go back and forth. You said, matter of fact, you're not going to play down here.
Yeah.
And you know what I did? I looked at him, I said, Sonny, here, let me tell you something. You got away with that shit down McGonigal because that was your place. This is 25th and Diamond. This is where I learned to play basketball.
Yeah.
This is my fucking neighborhood. If I don't play, you are not having no league down here, Sonny. He's like, oh, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Every coach, there was a coach on all the different teams, like 8 teams, and each coach was there because it was the picture day. And he going around telling the coaches, now this, that. You know what they told him? They said, Sonny, Brandt got to play. They come here to see Brandt play.
Right.
They've been doing it ever since you started playing basketball.
Right.
He got to play down here, Sonny. It's not a league if Brandt don't play. Brandt, Chubby Wood, the Wells boys, and Ed Johnson, and Lighty, and all of Barry Ogletree. Brandt got to play, Sonny.
Yeah.
All right, well, y'all responsible for him. And I just looked at him. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't, I mean, like, we had a little vendetta for a while, but, you know, after that for years, because I really like, the reality of that is, back then, Sonny was very influential in the basketball games.
Right.
He was.
Right.
And he knew people, you know what I mean? And even if he also knew people that knew people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So he carried some clout, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? The reality of that is, like, I used that as part of my excuse to say, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to go to the streets real hard.
Right.
I'm going to go hard in the streets. You know what I mean? And I'm still going to play ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't go to school. So what? You know what I'm saying? I'll be playing out in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what happened was I caught a shooting case that summer.
Yeah.
And so when Ham found out, he made some calls, and he got then Cheney had left Gratz, and he was coaching up at Cheney then. And Milton Dana was up there. Okay. And so Ham went up there and talked to Cheney. You know what I mean? And then, you know, Mr. Cheney hadn't really seen me play a lot, like after my game really started taking off, but he saw me play a few times. But Milt and Dana vouched, you know, like, yeah, get it. You know what I'm saying? So bottom line is I went to court, you know, they gave me um they gave me 5 years probation under the stipulation that I go to school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that January, which was January of '74, you know, because I graduated in June.
Mm-hmm.
That January, Cheney was the only one that I could get in real quick. So they pulled them strings and Ham got to Cheney and all that. And Mr. Cheney, God rest his soul, he got me in,
Right.
you know what I mean? And I was up there for a semester.
Right.
Now I used to practice with him and run with, you know, Dana and Milk,
Mm-hmm.
we call Milk Cornbread. You know what I'm saying? I used to practice with them all the time, you know what I'm saying? But and then Cheney told me, he said, well, you know, we already, you know, squad in. He said, but I look forward to seeing you next year.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But
At the
from
same
there,
at the same time, you was in a gang, right? What was the gang that you was
yeah,
affiliated with?
yeah, listen, that's the thing. You know, coming up, my family, my cousins and them got arrested, so, and even the gang, virtually, they tried to keep me away from it because they knew that I was an athlete. My heart was in sports.
Right.
I mean, but it got to the point like they used to come to my games
And you
in
played
areas
baseball
where,
too.
yeah. And well, see, that's the thing. In baseball, I played baseball in the 11th grade when I told Ham to hell with you because you want me to come off the bench. I played baseball and basketball in 11th grade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I made all area, all public in baseball.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I had a lot of the biggest state one back in the day. Then one of the big top schools for college baseball was where Reggie Jackson went, Arizona State.
Yeah.
And I had offers from them. They wanted me to come up to the campus and everything because they
Right.
wanted to give me a ride. But I'm like, man, look, I'm not going out no motherfucking Arizona, man. I ain't never really been out of Philadelphia
You want
back then.
you want to
I'm
stay in
not
the
going
streets.
out there.
You want to stay in
That's
the
too
streets,
damn
huh?
far. Yeah, that's too far. We get a street. We'd name the street Arizona in Philadelphia. What the hell? I'm not going out no Arizona.
Tell me
You
about
know,
the
I'm
gang that you
Arizona
was
State.
connected to. The gang.
Huh?
Tell me about the gang that you was connected to.
The Valley.
Yeah.
Really, I think at that time, only Zulu Nation, and they was like cross town, but they had a whole different bunch of people. I think at that time in that area, back in the late '70s, early '80s,
Mm-hmm.
when the game was really hard, you know, Zulu was the only corner in the city that was really like more that was thicker. When we say thick, that thick refers to the number of people
Yeah.
that you have, you know. And I think Zulu was the only one that was thicker than the Valley, simply because the Valley, we had so many different parts.
Yeah.
Cross town, we had 8th and Diamond. When you come up, then we had 19th and Montgomery, 21st and Montgomery, 24th and Birch, 28th and Montgomery,
Right.
World Valley.
Right.
You know, and all that, you know, it was all different parts and different streets and stuff like that, but it was all valid.
Y'all had
So
gang
whenever,
wars, right?
whenever, listen, whenever, no matter where they was at, you know, different territories or whatever, like Cool World was, you know, we had to go up a little bit to get them. You know what I mean? But when we was gang war, like if 28th Montgomery was fighting somebody, then basically the whole valley was fighting. 24th Street, 21st Street, you know, whatever corner, like 21st and Montgomery was gang war hard with 21st and North.
Right.
The whole valley was gang war 21st and North.
Right.
Because we was in different parts, you know what I mean, different areas, but we was all one corner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, like that era, because I mean, we even had to walk going through Franklin. We had problems with Morocco's.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people got mad. You know, we never really like had a real hard gang war with them. They mainly fought Fowler Street and Poplar Street. But the thing with them was that was like the school that we could go to at that time where, you know, we was you know, we had a good number of people there. Like if we went to Gratz, you know what I mean? Gratz was always Venango Street, Dar Street, all that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, we try to avoid, you know, everybody from the Valley try to get to go to Franklin.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it was all back then in the game, it was all territorial.
Right.
It was territorial.
Right.
And that's what this
Did some of your gang members play basketball with you?
I had a couple of them. Like, you know, we actually had a Valley League up at the King Center.
Wow. Really?
You know what I mean? Every group, every corner had their team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And well, of course, you know, Burke Street, we always won.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they had me.
Right.
And I'm gonna beat everybody. But you know, there was a couple other players, you know, like on Montgomery Avenue and even 19th Montgomery, they had a couple good players because the one boy, his real name is Arthur Stone, but you know, in the streets they called him Sugar Bear.
Mm-hmm.
He actually went to Cheney and he played for 19th Montgomery.
Right.
Him and his boy Princeton in the Valley League, like they was our hardest game.
Right.
Because those two, they could play and they was like, you know, they were bigger than the guys that we really put on the court at the time.
Right.
But you know what I mean, as long as I was playing, we always had a chance.
Yeah. What would you say
You know
to some kids that, you know, that's out there in the streets and, you know, athletic as you was and such a great basketball player as you was, and they still out there in the streets and don't know what direction to go in? What kind of advice would you give to some of the kids?
I tell them, man, listen here. I tell them, you know what I mean? And it's just like I even say this in my documentary. Like the reason, you know, and I remember and I respect, I really love you and Blair because like y'all pushed this thing real hard. Because at first I was like really just going through the motions.
Right, right.
But like you were real adamant about it. Like you wanted this out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then when we went hard, like, you know, and I told it all.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But I also say it in there, you know what I mean? I tell these guys now, like the younger guys, especially now, because the opportunities for them is so much more
Pick your camera.
Vast, it's so much larger, so much on a larger scale than it was when we was out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When we was coming up.
Right.
And so I tell them, you know what I mean? Like, don't look, the street shit, like, yeah, you know, everybody is gonna have a little taste of street. I mean, in the neighborhood, that's just part of city upbringing. Right. But if you are an athlete, you know what I'm saying? And even not just an athlete, if you're a good student, if you're an intelligent student, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be the days that you'll see your boys and, you know what I mean, be able to hang out with them for a little while, whatever. But that's not what it's about. What it's about is going to school, getting that degree, get that piece of paper, going to school, playing the sports, let the teams get a look at you. You know what I'm saying? And like, your dream can come true.
Right.
Your dream can come true. Like, cause me, myself, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, people ask me, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you made it to what
to the
what
NBA?
They say, would I made it to the NBA, motherfucker? I would say I would have made all NBA.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? I watch people, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why, like, one of the guys that I happened to talk to, you know, run across, like, since he been in there, you know, over these years, you know, one of the quote unquote Littell boys, Kyle.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of respect for him because, like, you know, Kyle, he's a hell of a ball player, but Kyle worked his ass off to get that.
Right.
Like, he wasn't spectacular. He was a good player, but he wasn't spectacular. But he had the opportunity to go the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean? By graduating from high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And getting a chance to play.
Right.
You know, college ball, whatever, and stuff like that. But so, you know, like, and these are the opportunities that I gotta admit and I gotta own up to, like, that I deprived myself out of.
Right.
Because I did go to St. Vincent's for that half year. You know what I mean? But I went there really to beat that case.
What's
You know what
up,
I'm
Rick?
saying? And
The
then I
franchise.
came
What's
right
up,
back.
franchise?
Who that Ricky franchise?
Yeah.
Hey, Tone, let me tell you about that guy.
Yeah.
That guy right there,
Yeah.
I hated playing Rick because he would never stand the fuck still. And you know what? Whenever I could get them to not, and whenever I could be right there and stop them from inbounding the ball to him,
Right, right,
I ain't ashamed to tell you.
right,
I grabbed his jersey
right,
all the way up court,
right.
holding him with me. I'm not letting him run because this, I get so damn tired running around there. Like Rick would not stop running.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck he had. Rick would, he was just like the fucking Energizer bunny.
Yeah, man
I'm like,
energy.
Rick,
Yeah.
will you stand still for a while?
Yeah, man
You know what I
energy.
mean? Then I look, we lined up at the foul line. Somebody shooting foul time. And I'm like, I'm looking at the man, you know, big man underneath. But I'm talking to Rick.
Yeah.
But when I turn my head now, he's gone. And he already ran on the other side like that. You know, the shot that went in, he went over there to get the ball. Now I got to play it all the way up
Right.
court. He was like, but that's my man. I love that man. Ricky franchise.
Yeah.
That's what I call him.
Yep.
Because he was the franchise of
He's
that
another
shit.
legend.
It
He's
was,
another legend out of
yeah,
Philadelphia.
without
Ricky
a doubt.
franchise.
Without a doubt, man.
Hey, Brent, man. What's it like? Like the drug game back when you were in the drug game, is it different from the drug game now? The way the streets are?
Of course it is. Of course it is. The drug game, first of all, when I was in it, like, and back in that era, like, it was some true killers and gorillas.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a whole lot of talking.
Right.
It wasn't a whole lot of talking. Like, they coming, you know what I mean? And you better squeeze before they do.
Yeah.
Because it's true. You know what I mean? And I thank God. That's why another one of the main reasons why every time I go to sleep and every time I wake up, I thank God for still being here.
Right.
Because out of all that shit, like, you know what I mean, I only got hit one time.
Yeah.
And thank God, if it wasn't for that car windshield, I might not have, I wouldn't have made it then.
Right.
Because the bullet stopped behind my ear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like now, these guys do, I mean, back then it was really like territorial, and it was about money back then because it was people taking money. You know, that era was, you know, JBM and all that old shit like that, Black Incorporated. And it was about money, and they was taking money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But these guys now, they doing, I mean, like, and back then, even though it was certain things you just didn't do. Like, you ain't shoot at nobody when they with their child, with their mom and all.
Yeah.
These guys, they
Right.
didn't do that shit.
Right.
Now,
Right.
like, they shooting at anybody. They don't even, and half of them, they won't even hit the people that they shooting at. They just shoot. They don't even look.
Right.
They don't know how to shoot again for real because they squeezing.
Yeah.
And their head is turned this way, but the gun going there where they shoot. They don't know who they're shooting at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have all that. You didn't have all that back
Right.
then, man.
Right.
You know, it was almost like, you know, realistically, it was like a unwritten code in the streets
Right.
of what you did and what you didn't do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like, even me, one time around Christmas, North Street caught me downtown. This is back in the day when they had that store on Market Street where it was John Cole's. Everybody wearing silk and wolves.
Yeah.
That was the pants back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm coming out of there, and I'm with my mom and my sisters and them, you know. And when I come out of there, soon we start walking down the street, a crowd opened up, right? Yeah, you've seen people, but then like people separated, and I was wondering why. It was because it was like 15 motherfuckers from North, you just walking, like knocking people out the way. So the other ones, they just moved. And when I seen them, I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I'm with my mom, God bless her soul, and all that, like, and they looked. Damn, it was 21st and North and 30th and North. I seen people from both parts in there, and they looked at me, and all they did was they pointed their finger at me like this and said, "Boy, you lucky.
Wow.
You lucky." You know?
Wow.
Like, that's how it was back then. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now today, they hitting little kids, man, like taking little kids' lives. Got nothing to do with nothing.
Yep. How do we stop that,
Nothing.
man? How do we stop all this
You know, listen,
unnecessary
man.
shooting in Philly?
I really, man, like, you know, I guess, you know, really, and this is the thing I don't have no problem with, like, as I did it with Mo a few times and stuff like that, but I just think us, the older guys, you know what I mean? We have to get more proactive with these guys and let them know, man, that ain't what it's about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't what it's about. Like we, you know, it's like that's almost like a rumor. Like you want that, you want the glitz and the glamour and all that, and then you know you gotta look at the shows, the TV shows, how they show people taking it on the money and all of this shit like that.
Yeah.
And some people fantasize about that shit, and you know, and you know, I talk about it, but that's because I lived it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if I had it to do over again, would I make that choice? Hell no.
Right.
Never 100 years. I don't care. Like, you know, you get glitz and glamour in it, but like, listen, it's only two. You stay in that game for quote unquote ever, or however long you think you can last. Like, there's only 2 outs.
Yeah. Yep.
Jail or dead.
Yeah.
That's all it's gonna be.
So those that don't know, Brandt Moses was a star basketball player, and he was a street legend and a street ball player, and he was great at both. You know, making money, selling drugs. He was in a gang. He was a gangster. I mean, he did it all. He did it all. And through that process, you know, he learned a lot. And don't get it wrong, people that don't know that. You're a very highly intelligent brother as well. You're not no dummy. You're very intelligent, and you got good grades in school. You know what I mean? So you knew what you were doing, especially, you know, in the streets and with the gang and stuff. You know, you're very educated on how you moved about in the streets. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean, as far as that part right there, like I started off going to Catholic school. I went to St. Elizabeth's first, and from St. Elizabeth, you know, I went to Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now back then, St. Joe Prep was really supposed to be like the better of the 2 Catholic schools in this area.
Right.
And only because of my man that I didn't really go there, like because Mo Howard was going to the prep.
Yeah.
So
shout out
I
to
went
Mo.
to Roman.
Yeah.
Mo, that's my man. Yeah. Mo is my man. Like, you know, but see, I remember like he was my first ever rivalry.
Yeah.
You know, I went to St. Elizabeth and he went to Our Lady of Mercy.
Right.
And every time we had to play them, like they said he was so shook.
Yeah.
It was so he was so shook. Like, you know what I mean? He grew, I had, you know what I mean? I held my own against him. Yeah. But you know what I mean? I gotta give him, he won those battles. His school won those battles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what he did was he instilled that competitiveness in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was like, okay, Mo, like, I know you good. I know you better than me right now. You know what I mean? Because I'm really getting into it. Yeah. But you know what? I'm still going to accept the challenge.
Yeah. Now,
going to accept.
Despite all your trials and tribulations, tell the people how you change your life around. What you're doing right now. How you're helping the community right now.
Well, what I do right now is that, you know, by God's grace and mercy, I'm back in the recovery process again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Coming up on 5 years, no drinks, no drugs, no nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what I do is I drive a van for the program.
Right.
You know, a program called Men and Women for Human Excellence. It's on 26 and Cecil B. Moore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
shout out to Keith.
You know, huh?
Shout out to Keith.
Yeah, Keith Johnson. Yeah. You know, him and his co-founder partner, he's not here no more.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, a guy named Kenny Ali.
Right.
You know, we actually had his mural painted on the side of the wall.
Right.
But you know, and I'll say this, like
how it most
is, you know, I know a lot of us ball players, we like to drink and turn it up and do what we do after when we get together in celebrations and all that.
Yeah.
And you know, it's to each his own. Like if you can quote unquote like do what you do and you still able to function. And when I say function, I mean be responsible, deal with life on life terms. You know, maintain your family, pay your bills,
right.
Do what needs to be done. Okay, all right, I got kudos for you. But if you one of the ones that, you know what I mean, like that the bottom line is that the drinking and drugging is really like deteriorated you, it's taking you under. You know you're not the same
Pick
person.
your
You know
phone
what I
up
mean?
some. Put your
You know,
phone. Can't see your
you
face.
know
Yeah.
people.
All right.
You know people don't even look at you the same way
Yeah.
no more because like they say, damn, look at him. At one time this guy was a hell of a ball player,
Yeah.
this, that, and the third, whatever. Now look at me, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's guess what? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always had mad love for Tone and Blair,
Yeah.
not just for the documentary, but for the fact that they are two people who never ever, you know what I mean, looked at me any different,
Right.
even when I was running around crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Say what's
And
up to
I
Mo
knew,
Howard. What's up, Mo?
oh, oh, hey Mo, come on, man. We go to the gym and play some one-on-one right now. St. Eve versus Our Lady of Mercy. Roman Catholic versus St. Joe Prep. Right now, Mo. Come on, step up. Step up, Mo. That's my man there. I
Yeah.
love him, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that guy to
Yeah.
death, man.
So yeah, man,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
gotta go, man. It was great having you on. I mean, you did a great job,
without a
man.
doubt.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you and all the things that you've accomplished, man. You know what I mean? You've been through a lot in life. It's like you lived 2, 3 different lives, you know what I mean? And you're very successful at what you do now, which is great. And I just want to remind everybody to go to YouTube and look for the Brandt Moses story. That's BRANDT MOSES story. And it's the Philadelphia gangster life. Story about Brandt Moses, what he's gone through as far as a basketball player, his career, in Philadelphia, on the playgrounds and in the streets, the gang life and selling drugs. It's a great story. And if you don't get a chance to watch it, go to YouTube and check it out. You got any closing words you want to say, Moses?
Yeah, first and foremost, once again I want to thank you and Blair, for the documentary, man, and like to everybody that's listening, ball players, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, listen, man, I would love for us, our Philadelphia basketball fraternity, man, to just strengthen up, in numbers, man. Always try to pick each other up, man, no matter what.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
We had some brothers that fall off,
right,
you know what I'm saying? But if you ever happen to run across them, man, let them know, man, that we got love for you.
right,
We got love for them, man.
right.
Because I know it because
Yeah,
I lived it because they loved me.
yep,
They loved me
right,
until I learned how to love myself again, man.
yep,
And I always been indebted. And Mo, don't be scared to come to the gym, man.
yeah.
I'm telling you, I got you now.
Love you too, Mo. Love you too, bro.
All right, love you,
Yep,
man. I love y'all
yep.
guys, man.
Let's go watch these games, man. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talk to you later, guys.
All right, man.
Brandt
Hey,
Moses,
Tone,
y'all.
appreciate you, man.
Brandt Moses, Philadelphia legend.
Anytime you want me to zoom in, just let me know.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Talk to you
All
later,
right,
man.
man.
Brandt Moses,
Later.
Philadelphia legend, y'all. All right.
All right.
Yes, that was Brandt Moses, Philadelphia legend, Roman Catholic, Ben Franklin High School, and a playground legend in Philadelphia. He was also in a gang and he sold drugs. He was in the street life and he did both. He was playing ball and living the street life at the same time. Great dude. He's doing a lot of positive things down in the community. He's helping out in different clinics and running camps and talking to the kids and trying to get kids, not to hit the path that he followed, but go to school, get an education, and do the right thing. Listen to your parents. So great man there. Remember, watch his documentary. It's on YouTube. The Brandt Moses story, Philadelphia Gangster Life. All right. This is Coach Tone Show. Talk to you guys soon.